Travis Wangoodsill. So, obviously, the enemy did not come as a thief in the night to destroy the great and abominable church from the face of the earth. So it sucks for those of us who want to be Joseph Smith Mormon and good people. As we remain in bondage, as we continue to be threatened by the great and abominable church who seeks to destroy us. But unfortunately for me, you guys don't have the great and abominable church specifically targeting you for assassination. It's just a general assassination for you guys. And so I had a commenter way back when, and he never replied. That he wanted me to do a reading of the current eviction lawsuit that's currently in progress. And I can't do a reading like I used to with my 2 federal filings, because in those cases I was on the offensive. I was the plaintiff. I was suing the church. And so yes, you can see the changes that Nelson has been forced to make and the things that he has escalated in doing because of me, whether you believe it or not. But in this case, I am on the defensive. I'm the defendant. They're trying to rig the system against me. And so I cannot disclose specific details about the case. I can't do a reading, because they will then take it and use it against me. But needless to say, the original judge is no longer on the case. Yep. I gave her warning, which the defense counsel likewise received. So it's not like I kept it a sacred secret between the two of us, the judge and I. But I informed her of background information and others who have been compromised in previous cases. And so, wouldn't you know it, I get in the mail yesterday the response from the defense attorney. And he's still under the impression of the original judge in the case, which means after she received their filing, having already received my filing, she recused herself, and it was passed on to another judge who had formerly been a police officer who was involved in investigating murders, among other things, of a serious nature. It's almost like an NCIS, not NCIS, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, but it includes gang murders and stuff like that too. So crime and special victims. So if you notice on NBC, they had the guy who was on originally with Special Victims Unit now start doing organized crime, Law and Order. Now, that was that guy. He's now a judge. And so it's a little bit different in the sense that I assume, or at least I knew in the federal courts, that they have to randomly select judges. They're not allowed to personally select. But in this particular case, it's very blatantly obvious they personally selected. But unfortunately, they're holding a hearing by the defense lawyer's request, and so I'm now having to do a motion for summary judgment. I've been telling everybody knows, I've submitted proof that I do this. I collect evidence. I have the documents. I have the receipts. And yet they keep pushing as if I don't. They try to gaslight the courts. This is holding the court in contempt. They have no respect for our laws because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is ordering it to be done. I've tied it to them. That was the warning that I gave to the initial judge about past examples of compromised individuals. The church wants me dead. And they are manipulating the law to get it done. And they have people in position who suck at their job as assassins. If Nelson wants to do it, come and face me. If you've seen the movie Troy, Brad Pitt as Achilles tells the leader, if only the leaders would do battle and resolve their own concerns. That used to be a practice in Greece. And so it's not too far off when Achilles says that, despite the fantasy fiction that's involved in the Hollywood version. But yeah, Nelson runs and hides. It's talked about in Mosiah chapter 29. He protects himself. He has guards. He will not go out among the people unless there are guards. And they're fully armed. He doesn't trust Mormons. But when you're a bad guy, when you're taking life, liberty, and property away from your followers, yeah, you kind of have to expect that they're going to say, enough is enough. No more. Let us go. But instead, they reinforce themselves, creating a secure barrier to protect themselves. And unfortunately for me, the cyber terrorists are back at it again, causing problems while online, causing problems on my computer with programs and apps. They want me silenced. Now, if you've been watching my channel this whole time, you know it's because I just came out with something fairly recently that really upset Nelson. Yeah, can you guess? Yeah, polygamy again. He was pissed that I was allowed to have a voice for conference. Sunday driver. And that the month before video, month in advance video for conference, became a blockbuster. Food and YouTube, SNL. I'm sure I saw mine scrolled through that. It was going a little fast. I'll have to watch it again and go slowly, but I'm pretty sure I saw mine. But yeah, Nelson is pissed that I exposed the whole plot. The 200-year-old plot to destroy not just America, but the world, and reestablish polygamy. And they're going to justify it because, well, the majority of the population, especially men, are dead. So we're going to have to do polygamy. Because Nelson's been able to distance himself. Nobody is aware that tithing is used to pay for temples. Because apparently nobody goes to the tithing settlement at the end of the year. And your bishop is good enough to say, they're a full tithe payer. Seriously? Did you not catch on when Nelson got up at a solemn assembly and announced a major city yet to be determined in Russia? I put the pieces together. Others go, oh, Russia, well that's strange. Isn't that the one that is accused of having rigged our 2016 election? Didn't Nelson come up in a previous conference in that session before the temple announcement saying, whatever you hear in the media, in the news, disregard? Do you not understand what he knew? These guys are evil, and they want you to hurt. And yet I see their minions who are brainwashed. Karl Marx is quoted as having said to the effect, religion is the opiate of the masses. And other people say, oh, you got to include the full context. He says religion is good. No, religion is the oppressor. Religion is the one that makes people feel like dirt, that they are unworthy. And yet religion has control over those people because they believe they are dirt, that they are unworthy, and require obedience and loyalty to the religious leader in order for a salvation that will never come, to a God that doesn't exist. That's what Constantine did. He instilled fear. He created Jesus, chose his name over all the other names of apocalyptic literature. He's the Roman emperor. He threatened all those bishops to unite under him or they get no money. So they sort of went along with whatever he said. And then over time, they chose not to. And there were schisms and break-offs and wars, holy wars, etc., etc. They had their fall. We are waiting for the fall of this church. It already happened under Brigham Young. The United States of America came in 1887, locked up John Taylor, Wilford Woodruff, and disincorporated the church. No more presidents. And as a result, there were branch-offs who were upset that they didn't go to war against the United States. The church ceased to exist on the face of the earth. And the church doesn't tell us this, do they? We are aware of FLDS churches and branch-offs, Apostolic Brethren, Allens, and the other names that are popular. Romney came from the ones in Mexico, for example. But they don't tell us what happened and why, other than, well, they're apostates, they left the church for apostasy, so we have to be obedient and loyal to the church so that we don't become like them. And when they get in trouble with the law, the church goes, see, they're apostates. That's what happens to apostates, as the church is able to pay off and hire people to be compromised so that the church doesn't get in trouble with the law. Which is why I'm very hopeful for the Australian lawsuit. Because that'll show Mormons that outside of Utah, the church is a criminal organization. I am still upset with James Huntsman, who called tithing a donation. He ruined it. It is not a donation. Australia knows and understands it's not a donation, which apparently is what needs to have happen, is that those who are not Mormon need to be affected by the church and sue them, because Mormons are too brainwashed to know that the church is a criminal organization. So that's the update. And apparently, like I said, the enemy didn't come as a thief in the night when the signs in the heavens and the scriptures said they would. I don't know, maybe we're waiting for the news. I doubt it. I can't rely on continuous hope. I'm fed up with it. I did it all through last year. Oh, here's a sign in the heavens. Is this it? No. Here's a sign in the heavens. Is this it? No. Oh, here's a series of signs in the heavens. Is this it? No. And if you're not understanding, you didn't watch my videos, specifically the one about the threefold process. There are signs in the heavens in the likeness of things on the earth, and scriptures report about the signs in the heavens and the prophecies of the things on the earth that are to occur. Those three things are to be taken together. And so as a scientist, I've been running the tests. Oh, I found a sign in the heavens. Okay, the interpretation of the ancients would be this. Oh, there's a scripture for it. Let's see if it'll happen as a likeness of events on earth. And there have been. The 2016 election. Yeah. It's in the Book of Mormon even. The 2020 election. In the Book of Mormon. A certain thing that's gone worldwide. In the Book of Mormon. In the Bible. In the Doctrine and Covenants. All the natural disasters. Yeah. Right on time, right on schedule, but nothing for the likeness of things on the earth. The Battle of Gog and Magog. Yep. We're just waiting for the theory test of nukes to destroy the world's population and allow the church to justify polygamy with the destruction of the United States government. Which, yes, Senator Mike Lee, descendant of John D. Lee, the murderer of women, children, and babies. sought to overthrow our government as a member of Congress. But they don't seem to treat those people like us regular folk. There's a different justice system for them, and they get away with a lot of stuff. Coups, sedition, treason, criminal organizations, murder, rape, child rape. What is he still doing in Congress when everybody knows he's been found out, he's been connected? He took a teenage girl out of state. That's sex trafficking. And why is he still in Congress? Why is he still causing problems? Because nobody's kicking him out and locking him up. So these are the problems we are facing in our nation and in the world. And the church has been behind all of it. But the one thing left is the fall of the great and abominable church. Without the fall, there can be no Exodus. And without the Exodus, there can be no Zion. And without Zion, there will be no peace, safety, and refuge for those few of us who want it. Who don't want the corruption, the abuse, the violence, the hate of the world. To live alone in peace. Not like The Village. Good movie, but dear God, no medicine? Are you kidding me? And you're creating a demon to scare kids away from the wall? M. Night Shyamalan, what were you thinking? But, you can embrace science. Science was not the problem. It is mankind who is the problem. The human factor. And that's what they're doing. The enemy purposely is enraging the people because the people are brainwashed. The Mormons are brainwashed. So that whenever they see LDS critic, they're immediately enraged and seek to defend the church by committing crimes. That's what I'm up against. See, it's not Nelson doing this to me. They order others to do it. And they may not even be ordering, but they are. I've connected the dots to them when I sued the church. But those people are hiring, ordering their employees to attack me. And people have to do it because that's their job. They lose their job and they don't have money to support their families. So they have to commit crimes if they want a living. This is the sad reality. And there are those who do it unwillingly. There are those who recuse themselves or quit. And then there are those who are forced to do what they don't want to do, what they're very uncomfortable doing. And do not report the crimes that they are being forced to do, and thus get dragged down. That's the update. And the rest of you are going to church, aren't you? The one thing you have to do during this time, and you can't do it, You can't stay home and watch YouTube. I gave you the lesson for Sunday today, and you won't do it. You won't watch it. You won't even watch this. Why am I even talking? Nobody's watching. YouTube made sure of it. Because the employee, oh yeah, he's willingly attacking me. Yeah, he doesn't care. He thinks he's protected because he's hiding. Nobody knows his name. Nobody in his office will come down on him and punish him, fire him. So yeah, he's got no worries. He'll just keep doing it to me. But yeah, I noticed the church has white screened me on the Joseph Smith papers. Using Google, I no longer am allowed to view the Joseph Smith papers. And there's your clue what has pissed them off. All the evidence is in there, guys. I found it, and they don't want me to watch it anymore. So that should tell you something. But it's a good thing I already copied and pasted them into documents. So yeah, it doesn't really hurt me because I can just go to those original documents. I've already got it. I refer to my Word program of 19 July 1840. I can refer to the Word program of 17 March 1842. They're too late. And so all they've done is expose what they're upset with me about. So the question is, why aren't you figuring it out?